Hey guys, didn't think I was going to be making a video on this, but it's been going around as huge news, and not for the right reasons. Lots of confusion and craziness with this issue that this poor PGA player had to go through. Um, so, PGA player, one of the top, if not the top player currently, Scotty Scheffler, was arrested at the PGA Championship game. I think this was the second round. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really been focused on this. And that just shows how big of a deal this is there's a lot of coverage from the media, and this is some coverage from the media that doesn't necessarily talk about golf very much. And the thing that's so shocking, and I know many have been saying this, and I do too, is I don't know if he's ever had any issue with the law before or has done anything wrong. He seems like a stand up guy, very presentable, very nice. And throughout this whole situation, I mean, even talking about it, like from what he has said, leading into the game, he has been very gentlemanlike, and it is great to see, somebody from a gentleman's sport like golf being a gentleman, keeping that gentleman persona preserved. That the golfer, well, the whole golf nation really strives to do on something as hectic of a situation like this. Um, so, I will get, I will mention exactly what the charges he got with and how he even got to this. So, basically, somebody had passed away, unfortunately. Now we know it's a maintenance guy who had been struck and killed from, I think it was a bus or a car. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know it was mentioned, but I don't necessarily remember exactly what it was. But basically, this maintenance guy unfortunately passed away. Um, and my condolences goes out to him and his family. Now, unfortunately, this added chaos to all the fans and the players, and to the cops, trying to be orderly, get everyone through and whatnot. From what I understand, it was raining, it was dark. The cops were wearing bright yellow vests. But if it's a highly visible yellow reflective rain jacket, that's what it was. And there was a cop that had waved Scotty Scheffler to move forward. But there was also another cop that was telling him to stay. So Scheffler, also according to him and to his lawyer, figured that he was following all the rules and everything that the cops wanted him to follow. He, I guess, listened to the wrong call and proceeded forward for 10-15 yards, and some cop decided to be a hero and jumped onto the back of his car. Why the cop did that makes absolutely no sense. He's not saving anybody, and he's not saving himself. Banged on the window after Scheffler stopped. I mean, 10-15 yards is not that far. The other thing is, there was no way he was going fast 10-15 yards in a car that had been previously stopped. So, it's not like he was doing anything to like really cause anybody malicious harm or anything. It clearly is the case of being confused and not knowing what is going on. And they took him out, slammed him to the car, and put his hands behind his back and cuffed him. Took took him to the cop car. One of the reporters was there, was trying to understand what was going on, and trying to help the cops know who it is. I don't think that really matters, to be honest, who it is, but the reason why so many people are so under, trying to make that a bigger deal is because this is actually a PGA player who was trying to get in for his tee time. The outside of his car was clearly marked PGA. It had his name visibly on the dashboard. It was pretty apparent that this was a PGA player. There's no mistaking of it. The cops, for whatever reason, I think this was a situation of a cop's ego getting to be too big for himself. And it seems like that is a continuation. It just happens throughout the nation, and it happens constantly, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so this is what it says. He was charged with assault second degree of a police officer, which they're probably going to fight. Criminal misdemeanor at the third degree, which they're definitely going to fight. Reckless driving. I think that's because they're trying to say that the cop was on his car. Did he think it was a fan or whatnot? Who knows? I'm positive they're going to say that one is the one that might get through. Disregard signals from officers directing traffic. I don't think that there is any clear indication of that. As far as for footage, that's the interesting thing, is there's no footage of the actual incident happening. There's footage of after the incident when he's taken to the police car. Detective Gillis was directed traffic into Gate 1 of Valhalla Golf Course due to the road being closed in both directions from an earlier fatal collision. Listed subject was driving eastbound to gain access to the course. Subject pulled into westbound lanes where outbound traffic was flowing, and to avoid backed up traffic, he did go into the shoulder to try to get around the bus that was completely stopped, and I don't think there was anybody inside that bus. Detective Gillis was in the middle of the westbound lanes in full LMPD uniform and a high visibility yellow reflective rain jacket. Detective Gillis stopped subject and attempted to give instructions. Subject refused to comply and accelerated forward, dragging Detective Gillis on the ground. Detective Gillis suffered pain, swelling, abrasion to his left wrist and knee. He was transported to the hospital for further medical treatment by emergency medical personnel. Detective Gillis' uniform pants, valued at approximately $80, were damaged beyond repair. That last sentence is absolutely hilarious for this recount and official serving of the criminal charges for his arrest. $80 of his pants were destroyed. I am sorry, but even with or without that last bit, I was thinking this was going to be egotistical, but that last sentence absolutely is egotistical, and I think Detective Gillis is completely on a high road trying to be a hero, taking things to the extreme. His ego got the best of him, and he is trying to get rid of, he's trying to basically get the most amount of charges and compensation out of this. And I don't know if that's mainly because now he knows he's a PGA player, he makes more money, or what. But this is just absolute nonsense. It is absolutely hilarious, but sad. It's sad because this happened. And this is taking all of the media information and whatnot, and this is going to take the media attention away from the death, which unfortunately happened, and it muddies the water, so to say. Now everybody is like, oh, is he going to make it to his tee time? Oh, he's going to be late. Now they're going to change it. He made it in time, but everybody's going to be talking about this. Unfortunately, I do think that the man who died, unfortunately, it's already like buried, like already not even a big news. Which I don't know if the family wants it to be big news or not, but it definitely takes away from the condolences of to the family for that man's death, which is unfortunate, and I am very upset by that. Because every human life is precious, and I think what was nice is the fact that even while all this happened, even while all this happened, Scheffler still made it known that, and in his words, he had said, of course, all of us involved in the tournament express our deepest sympathies to the family of the man who has passed away earlier in the morning in the accident. That truly puts everything in perspective. And clearly this man, he's a professional, and he's a gentleman, and he still, after all of this stuff happening, still is putting this man and his family first, as far as for this man's passing, which should not be taken lightly at all. It is unfortunate that the police these days, there's some good policemen, but there's some that care about their own ego, that want to be the ones making the demands. And this isn't just policemen. This is almost anybody in any workplace. Unfortunately, you will find that person that his ego is too big, but it's become so apparent, so obvious that in the police force this has escalated and grown into such a huge issue nationwide that unfortunately it's very common. It's become a common occurrence that the policemen, they have, I don't know what it is, this strive for heroicness, or they're just upset, having a bad day. I'm not sure. I know this personally because I've had encounters with police, and one of my most recent encounters, the man was fairly nice for the most part, but made really weird accusations that he took and he ran with it. Apparently he knew what happened without knowing what happened. And it was very clear to me that was the case. There's no point in arguing, and I'm happy that Scheffler didn't. He did what he could to comply, even though they charged him as if he did not comply. But yeah, this is just, it is a sad situation, and this is not great. Helping out with the popularity of the PGA. and the PGA has been going through ups and downs over the recent years. But this is just absolutely absurd. Absolutely incredible. A story that is blown. Really, a situation, an easy, simple situation, potentially an easy misunderstanding that got blown out of the water through the sky, so to say. Um, Once again, I'm gonna leave it with that. With I do have some sympathy as well for the family of the man who had passed. Hopefully, they're getting the support that they need. And then also for Scotty Scheffler, I hope he's getting the support he needs. You know, I hope he plays a good game of golf. I don't know how you go from being in an orange suit to playing around a golf so soon, but that man's a warrior, and I hope his family is good, and not super intensely worried, because he does have a new kid. His wife had a baby, so yeah. It's absolutely bizarre, absolutely crazy, and I can't even fully understand this. And as the information is getting put out, it's more and more of a question of what were these cops thinking, what were they doing, and the thing that seems to be very apparent in most reports, except for the cops' reports, is that these cops had taken things from 0 to 100. Well, 50 to 100. There was craziness going on, and basically, there's no denying it. There was ego involved. So, anyways, hope you guys have a great day. Bye.